Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jonathan Barrett, and I'll be your host today. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for those that are on the live stream today as well. We live in dynamic times. Never before has our generation been so assaulted by the images from the media, stories from the internet that seem to touch a nerve in us personally. It seems like every week, whether you are black or white, straight or gay, from a rich background or a poor background, there's a story that elicits a reaction in us. But there is hope. As long as the human spirit is alive on this planet, there will always be hope. We only have to think of names like Mahatma Gandhi, or Mother Teresa, now Saint Teresa, Anne Frank, or Martin Luther King, to know that it just takes a single passionate individual who has the courage to risk it all to bring light into this world. If you would, picture one of their iconic faces in your mind right now. Just take a moment. Bring one to mind. What do you notice inside? Is it courage, inspiration, love? Before them, there have been numerous beacons of change that have walked from all walks of life. Milarepa was a Tibetan monk who was very revengeful in his youth, but then he became one of Tibet's most loved and cherished figures of history. St. Francis of Assisi was a rich, disillusioned young man who left it all to pursue a life of compassion and generosity towards everyone. The Prophet Muhammad was also born into a noble family and grew up to be rich, but then turned contemplative. What these three individuals have in common is they all had the courage to do the inner work first before they brought outer change. Let's stop there for a minute. Speaking of inner work, how many of you might have had a little twinge of emotion when I said one of these names? Why? Well, these names, these last three ones, are associated with world religions. And some of these religions have been associated with violence. We're not talking about religion today. We're not talking about spirituality today. You can all breathe a sigh of relief. We are talking about taking a moment to reflect on the times that we live in and what they require of us. What they require of us as individuals and what they require of us as a company, one of the most influential companies on the planet. If you felt a twinge of emotion when I mentioned one of these names or even the word religion, that's normal. If you feel outraged by the things you see on TV or read in the newspaper, that's normal. If you have passionate feelings about the election that's coming up in a month, that's normal. In fact, if you don't have some of those passionate feelings, I'd say that's not normal. However, we have to learn to deal with these emotions. We have to learn to find ways to integrate our thoughts and our emotions more constructively so we can more skillfully navigate these dynamic times so we can have impact. Today, we hope to give you both the permission and the tools to do just that. Sadhguru is a realized yogi and mystic. He's a man whose passion spills into everything he touches, including, I learned yesterday, golf. With a keen mind and an unbounded heart, his presence alone gives you a taste of what the natural state of the mind can experience in terms of love and joy and freedom. Sadhguru's vision to transform the world has been unfolding over the last 30 years. The Isha Foundation, which he started, has numerous programs to promote inclusive culture and establish global harmony. Named one of India's most 50 influential individuals, he has deeply touched the lives of millions worldwide. He's spoken at forums like the United Nations and humble villages throughout India. He's equally known for his transformational yoga programs as well as his large-scale social projects. The projects address things like quality education for the poor, environmental stewardship, holistic health, peace, and well-being. Sadhguru says, "Joy is our nature, misery our own making." This is a provocative statement that he addresses in his new book, Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy, which there'll be a few copies for sale in the back. Sadhguru?
You don't mind if I cross my legs?
No, please.
My
Feel
brains…
comfortable.
my brains don't work if I don't cross my legs.
Your brain doesn't work over the…
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sadhguru. I think the audience is very interested in what you have to say. I guess to start, they define inclusive consciousness. I'd love to hear your thoughts on…
They did not define it.
They did not. Okay. Well, I was just going to ask you what's missing. So you can start.
With all due respect, they spoke about intent, right intent.
Mm-hmm.
They spoke about right kind of thoughts, emotions, attitudes, and to some extent actions. There is no consciousness in this. If we are understanding that the way we think, feel and act is our consciousness, no,